to Science with Amber. My school is trying to cut down on trash, so my principal thought of having a trash-free lunch. So that's my topic today, having a trash-free lunch. Many of these items that you see out is thrown away in the trash at lunch. You have trays, wrappers, bags of chips, Ziploc bags, silverware, paper bags that students use for lunch, and then just leftover food. Now you have Capri Suns and waters and other juice containers. We're trying to cut back on all of these different things so that we won't have trash in our school. When getting rid of food waste, you can use the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. When you reduce, you use less of an item. So, for example, instead of you putting your sandwich in a Ziploc bag, you could put it in a sandwich container. Or instead of putting your whole entire lunch in a paper bag, you could put it in a lunchbox. Now, when you reuse, you do reuse an item over and over again. For example, when you use a plastic spoon, you only use it once and then throw it away. But when you use a reusable spoon that you can wash, you can use it many times and just keep washing it over, and you don't have to throw it away. Now when you recycle, you can recycle plastic, glass, and cans. Instead of using a Capri Sun that you have to throw away, you can drink from a plastic bottle, and then you can recycle this so that you don't add to the trash. Welcome to Science with Amber. Today's topic is having trash-free lunch. So I'm going into Wegmans to look at some of the containers you can use instead of using trash products. We are here at Wegmans with sandwich containers that you can use during lunch. You can use these containers during lunch so that you won't have to waste all products that you have to throw in the trash. Here's a product from To Go Company, where they have these containers that you can use instead of using foil or Ziploc bags that you have to throw away. Here are some other types of containers that are available. You have some small split, or you have just a regular sandwich container. There's so many different various types that you can use when instead of using products that will need to be thrown away. They even have silverware that you can use as washable instead of plastic silverware that you have to throw away. So, if you need juice, instead of using a Capri Sun that you have to throw away, you can put the juice in a bottle that you can wash and drink out of. So we don't have to use Ziploc bags anymore. It's no longer needed. And now we go over to washable items. When you have cookies like this, you can put it in some of the containers we just showed you, instead of wasting, having trash, and keeping it in containers like this. Instead of having the individual packs of chips, you could get a big bag of chips and put it in the small containers so that it will make it a look trash juice. who cares highly about the environment. Do you think having a trash-free lunch is a good idea?
Yes, I think it's a very good idea because reducing trash helps preserve the environment.
Are some ways we can reduce the trash in the cafeteria?
Well, one way is that you can recycle. Have recycling bins in the cafeteria would be a very good idea. Also, you could use products that you can reuse again, like sandwich containers and silverware versus plastic utensils. And also, you can use plastic trays versus the cardboard trays that they use right now. That way, you can wash them and use them again.
Okay. Are packaged meals a good idea?
I think that giving children the option to choose what they want to have versus having a meal already prepared for them is a better option because that way they don't have to throw away what they don't want. It's like more like having a buffet. I think that's definitely a better idea for the kids.
Okay. Well, thank you for allowing me to interview you.
Thank you for having me, and I hope your project works out well for you.
Thank you. Here's another way you can reduce trash in school lunches. A compost bin. With a compost bin, you can put your leftover fruits and vegetables, as you see in this bin here. You have apple cores, grapes, onions, lettuce, oranges, and bananas and celery. And you'll start off with some leaves. Then you'll add your fruits and vegetables. Now you'll add some wood chips. And last, you'll add some soil. There's some things that you don't want in your compost bin. You don't want meat products or you don't want fruit peels because these type of things attract animals. And other things that attract animals you don't want in your compost bin. This is how a small compost bin that we may look. But when you're in school, your compost bin will require a lot more procedures. This concludes Science with Amber, but before I end, let me give you a few tips on our topic. It is important to reduce the amount of trash that we produce in school and out. Wait, what happens to the trash that you throw away? That trash goes into landfills all around the world. Landfills are made on top of the ground or in a building. In the United States, there is 251 million tons of trash per year, and 55% of the trash goes to landfills. Only 32.5% of the trash is recycled or composed. That is a very small amount, and we should do better. Since 1960s, the amount of trash produced has doubled, and now it's almost tripled. So now you know what happens to some of the trash thrown away. Today we discussed many ways you can reduce trash. One solution was to reuse, reduce, and recycle. This is something that is easy to do by just changing the items that you use for lunch. Another solution we discussed was compost. Compost is organic material that can be added to soil to help plants grow. Compost enriches the soil, helping retain the moisture and helps control against pests. It also reduces the need for chemical fertilizer. We can compost fruits and vegetables, eggshells, coffee grind, corn cobs, leaves, flowers, wood chips, and so much more. But we can't compost meats, cheeses, and fruit peels. A compost bin will be a great item to have at our school. So I hope you learned a few good options on eliminating trash produced from lunch. If you still have questions on this topic, look at our websites. See you next time on Science with Amber.